Bula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight on FBC News, bodies found in Navua Creek. Glimmer of hope for local musicians as businessman penalized for piracy. And Hawaiian Airlines aircraft makes emergency landing at Nandi International Airport. Good evening and welcome to FBC News. Police have retrieved a car and 2 bodies from a creek in Navua this afternoon. The car belongs to Suva businessman Krishnaswamy Naidu, who was reported missing exactly 1 month ago with his co-worker Ella Blakelock. Police spokesperson Anna Naisora says they are yet to identify the bodies. Naidu and his co-worker Ella Blakelock were last seen in Lotoka on the 19th of June. Our journalist Edwin Nand, who is at Vakambalea, says it's the same site where police recovered the bodies of a man and his toddler son in their car, which went off the road into the creek about 15 years ago. Fiji Airways has today announced Stefan Fisler as its new Chief Executive Officer. Fisler will begin his new role as CEO and Managing Director of the national carrier, taking over from acting CEO Aubrey Swift from September 1st. He is currently the CEO of Jazeera Airlines in Kuwait, where he remarkably returned the airline to profitability. This achievement is a quality Fiji Airways hopes to ride on for future success. We now join Chris for more on this announcement live from the West.
Thanks, Amrita. Pishla replaces Dave Fliger, who departed to join Silva Airways in the United States at the end of his 3-year contract in May. Fiji Airways chairman Nalin Patel says they are delighted to have him join the company after an extensive global search. Patel says Pishla is a proven CEO with a strong track record and has vast experience in not only the airline business but also in the tourism industry. Pishla says he's excited to join Fiji Airways on the road ahead to build a bright future. He has earned international recognition for returning Jazeera Airlines to profitability, achieving its highest profit margins in 2011 and 2012. Acting Prime Minister Ayasayed Kayum says Pishla's outstanding accomplishments established him as the best possible fit for CEO of Fiji Airways. Pishla returns to the region, having previously worked in Australia for Virgin Blue and was responsible for transforming it from a low-cost carrier to a network airline. He's been to Fiji on a few occasions before and is a former internationally ranked marathon runner.
Ministry of Forestry does not have the power to recall marine ply sold in the local market, despite revelations they are of inferior quality. While manufacturers are using glue suitable for marine use, the veneer of the timber used isn't suitable for marine application. Mika Longa tells us more.
The Deputy Conservator of Forest, Eliki Senivasa, told FBC News the government hasn't the powers to recall the marine ply sold in the local market despite their inferior quality for marine application.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably we'll consider these in our future discussion.
Senivasa says the Forestry Ministry is still in the process of reviewing the provisions on the treatment and preservation of timber. All it can do under the law is to shut down the factories that are manufacturing the marine ply.
It came out in one of our discussions on Monday this week. What we are doing now is strengthening the monitoring aspect, doing a surprise check. It's a strict requirement now because we have been pinpointed of our laxity in monitoring.
For boat builders like John Eboenia, he hasn't a choice. To put food on the table, he still has to buy the marine ply that's available in the market.
All I know that all marine ply I have been using are specifically for boat building.
The ministry faces teething problems in other areas as well that's also affecting its work.
We lack a bit of capacity in terms of our vehicle and number of people and expertise. But these are the areas that we are strengthening now.
Local marine ply are said to be manufactured under Australian standards. Mikalonga, FBC News.
A glimmer of hope. That's how musicians have described the penalty handed down to a Singatoka businessman for his involvement in piracy. Faryad Ali was imposed a fine of $12,000 and a 4-month suspended sentence by the Lautoka High Court for dealing with infringing copy and the possession of object to make infringing copy while operating a DVD outlet. The Fiji Performing Rights Association has also welcomed this outcome.
The Performing Rights Association had lost all hope of ever getting the justice they deserved from pirates who made millions from their hard work. The High Court ruling yesterday has injected new hope for the association in their fight to getting the money they deserve.
At times, I'm sure, being human beings, it's quite a discouragement after having gone through the process of charging and all the related work and administration. And when it comes up into the court, it all comes to naught.
Musician Simone Watalevu is thankful for the collaborated efforts of government and law enforcement agencies.
Most of the composers now, they don't want to, they're discouraged by this piracy. So most of them are not interested in doing more composing and recording a new volume because of this piracy.
The Fiji Performing Rights Association hopes that the recent High Court ruling will act as a deterrent to those making a living out of piracy. Vasita Kotiwaswasa, FBC News.
A plane belonging to Hawaiian Airlines was diverted to Fiji for an emergency landing at the Nandi International Airport this morning. The plane developed mechanical problems when one of its engines shut down during its flight from Sydney to Honolulu. Airports Fiji Limited General Manager Lawrence Liu says engineers were being flown in from New Zealand to identify the fault, while the 306 passengers on board have been accommodated in hotels around Nandi. Liu says it is likely that the Airbus A330-200 aircraft will fly out tomorrow. Hawaiian Airlines is the largest airline in Hawaii. Fiji Institute of Surveyors is seeking government intervention on how land development is being delayed by approving authorities. The FIS met with the Acting Prime Minister and Attorney General Aya Sayed Kayum today. Epeli Tukuwasa reports.
The FIS was able to raise its concerns and grievances on some of the obstacles to land development in Fiji, and leading the list is the approval process.
It's very frustrating that it's delayed there for years and years, and people cannot get their loans, and they cannot build their houses, so this affects not only the individuals but the economic, social and economic development of the country.
Concerns were also raised regarding the moratorium of agriculture lease in which subdivisions are not allowed. They want the regulations to be revised.
One of the common complaints we do get is that a number of the agencies perhaps aren't doing what they're supposed to do, but more importantly in a timely fashion. I think the other problem also is that unfortunately many of the laws in Fiji are archaic.
Sayed Kayum says his office will look into the grievances and concerns made by the FIS. Epeli Tukuwasa, FBC News.
Investment Fiji has received interest from Russian entities to invest in Fiji. Chief Executive Ravuni Ulilakemba told FBC News that this is a result of the Fijian Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama's state visit to Russia recently. He confirms the potential investors have inquired about the procedures of setting up a business in Fiji.
The first is basically on manufacturing, a little bit on mining, and of course there were questions on super yachts aspect. So those were some of the interests that have, or inquiries that have come in.
It'll take 12 to 24 months before any investment interests are confirmed. In the news ahead, preparation for Hibiscus Festival well underway.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Nimbula metango nimilote na isoro tambua. Nama kia umena rua kina ona na veka vi moniti kina whakaromuka. Rongo mena via sama kina vipa ka barota kinin reko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na wongani pioniano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back to FBC News. The fish population in the Western Division is fast depleting. And in what seems to be a losing battle, the Fisheries Ministry is looking for new ways to protect the fish that remain.
Illegal fishing is the major contributor to the depleting fish stock in the West.
The main one is beach demand, and also the reef fishes. We have one big problem in the West is dynamite fishing, and the fishing areas are becoming poorer and poorer.
The Fisheries Ministry is working on a new decree with the hope that it'll be a fitting solution.
That's the main thing, because the pressure is increasing. So on the other end, we have to really put measures to curb the illegal fishing going on at the moment.
Takali is calling on people in the outer islands to report sightings of tuna boats which may be illegally fishing in shallow waters near land.
If you see any boat suspicious of doing illegal fishing, you can just identify the number and some of the letters on the boat written on the bow of the boat. Please contact our fisheries headquarters in Suva on the number 3301611. I repeat it again, 3301611.
Illegal fishing is rife across the country, and the challenge for the Fisheries Department is getting the right deterrent to end it once and for all. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Preparations are well underway for the much-anticipated mother of all festivals. The Vodafone Fiji Hibiscus Festival 2013 will be held next month, and organisers boast this year's event is more constructive and organised. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Hibiscus Festival that is enjoyed by people throughout Fiji also captures the attention of many in the region. This year, the event is said to be more fun-filled.
Chinese embassy group that is confirmed, and they're bringing a Kwang team from China will be performing on the Asian night, and we also have Bollywood singers this time instead of just dancers, but they will be also dancers, so there will be another limelight of the festival.
16 young women will compete in the Miss Hibiscus category, while there are 10 Mr. Hibiscus contestants, 13 teen contestants and 7 ladies.
In previous years what we did is audition contestant once and we selected the contestants, but this time they had to go through 3 audition panels before they were selected.
The theme for this year's festival is Pacific Wellness, Treasure Life, Choose Health. On the issue of food quality sold during the festival, Prasad says strict monitoring mechanisms will be put in place.
We are working with the Ministry of Health and Suva City Council. This time we'll be also having a OHS team that will be going to all the food stalls to see how the foods are cooked. Basically, Ministry of Health is very, very particular about this year, and the food quality will be better than what has been in previous years.
The 2013 Vodafone Hibiscus Festival will be held from August 17 to the 24th. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
This year's Bullitt Festival will raise funds for the Loloma Home, which is a refuge for women and their children, and Fence Fiji, a foundation for the education of needy children. 11 queens have entered the annual charity event. Following 3 public judgings and a private judging this afternoon, one of these contestants will be crowned Miss Bulla tomorrow night. It is the only unbroken festival in the country, having been held consecutively for the last 53 years.
For this year's objective, first is the Loloma Home, which is in Sambeto, and that houses 23 children. They are orphanage and abandoned children and single mothers. So there is a need there. We have visited them and we see the great need. And the second one is the Fence Fiji.
More students are now reading. That's the view of teachers at Nasinu Gospel Primary School, who together with their students ended a week-long celebration today marking National Library Week. Chanel Sivan was part of the celebrations.
Dressed for the occasion, from cartoon characters to trees and even sea creatures, it was like reading an open book Only this time, your favorite characters were literally right in front of you. Creativity and style was the order of the day for these students of Nasinu Gospel Primary as they celebrated the culmination of National Library Week.
Library Week means to me to read a lot of books and stories.
Library Week means to read a lot of books.
I read Nancy Drew, Goosebumps and Babysitter's Club.
It's a week for us to read books and enjoy.
Asilika Ulelekamba has been a librarian for over a decade now, and despite the fast-moving technology such as the World Wide Web threatening libraries, Ulelekamba believes reading cannot be replaced.
The introduction of internet or digital technology that sort of competing with reading, but reading is still there.
The same sentiments has been shared by the school head, even adding that reading has increased over the years.
It might be a slight drop in a few years back, but right now it's really going up again. It's really going up again.
Library Week has come to an end for these students, and it is for sure that reading has increased in the last few years. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Jamie joins us now with sports, and I'm disappointed that you're not in your character outfit today.
Oh well, Amrita, for some odd reason my Batman suit no longer fits me. I'll have to work on that. Well, coming up after the break, defending champions retain Vodafone South Pacific Hobie Challenge, and Nandi ready to take on Suva in the Intucell Cup. Stay with us.
Isambul binaka, nadang gawadi soni dalai, nama kyo mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, mai na tolu kina bitu, ena moni digina por rombuka, ena Bula FM, na bandu ena serre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला, मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Fijian sailors Kaveni Natandra and crew have successfully retained the Vodafone South Pacific Hobie Challenge. They finished ahead of Wallace and Fortuna crews and even upset fellow Fijian Epeli Ndroma, who came in third. As Elena McDonald reports, winds of up to 30 knots was the turning point for the defending champs.
Once the overcast conditions cleared, strong winds prevailed, which was just the ticket for this duo to steal the lead and defend their Fiji Hobie Challenge title.
Like in the first race, we tell my crew we need to catch up a lot. So we're like right behind 2 points. We need to catch up with this point. So yeah, we did it.
Of course, experience helped when it came to knowing when to make their move.
Running in the upwind, so even in the start line, when we saw Epeli just coming right at the back, we know, okay, we can catch Epeli, so we beat him.
And for someone who raced his last youth challenge, the end result came as a disappointment.
It was really hard for me. Made a lot of mistakes that cost me a lot during the race. I won the 2 days race. Today was really hard. They tried and catch me up, but they did.
The Open Championship is up next for Natandra and Droma, and following that, they are hoping to get the nod for the Pacific Mini Games in September.
Replacement. So if we had a chance to sail in the mini games, it would be great, and we'll learn a lot from the friends.
Vital lessons learned over 3 days of competition. One thing's for sure is this is bound to be the sailing cruise to look out for come the 2015 Pacific Games. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Intucell Cup rugby competition continues tomorrow around the country, with the Suva versus Nandi match being the feature clash. Teams head into the second round, trying to cement their place in the semi-finals, while Nandi travel to Suva as leaders on the points table and are fully aware of what to expect.
You just got to get a mental preparation, mental toughness up there. I think we did against the Nando. We had a good preparation leading up to the game, even though we lost, but there is a lot of box to tick, and which was good to see. And I guess last week we just dropped off the standard, and hopefully this week we'll rise up to the occasion. And of course, with Suva and the boys have got that in mind, it'll be a good game.
Suva meet Nandi at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Suva football side, in its bid to ensure it qualifies for the OFC Champions League next season, wants to win all its remaining matches in the Fiji Sun GP Batteries National League. The Whites take on Tavua on Sunday and will be looking at remaining in second spot after this weekend. However, the coaching staff have identified a few areas of concern after recent matches.
Even if you look at the last game we played against Bar, we had a lot of opportunities where it was a 1v1 situation and we missed those chances. And goals are always important. Like Bar scored 2 goals from 35 yards and that's important. So goals are very important. We'll be concentrating a lot on that.
Suva plays Tavua at the ANZ Stadium. In their first season of the Vodafone Cup competition, the Wellness Kings Rugby League side have burst onto the scene, making an impact. With only better things ahead for them, officials believe they have also succeeded in molding this young group of players. Salendada Kadaka with the story.
Meet the Wellness Kings Rugby League team, made up of unemployed youths from the Cunningham Stage 4 area. Officials have laid out 2 missions for the players to achieve.
Win every game and keep the boys out of trouble.
The team has won an impressive 4 out of 5 games this season. With only 1 round left until the playoffs, officials are optimistic the side can move up a rank into the big leagues.
And our goal this year to win the final, and we want to play in the Premier next year.
After a successful season, the team expects to be promoted to the Premier Division next year. A dramatic improvement for these young players, both on and off the field. Talendo Dakavaka, FBC Sports.
He's returned with another gold medal, this time from Queensland in Australia. But the Pacific's best F-42 high jumper, Elias Ndelana, has now been told to rest if he wants to compete in bigger championships next year. It took him a jump of up to 1.68 meters to win gold in Australia. That's 6 centimeters shorter than his Olympic record, which he wants to get back to.
I've qualified for Lyon, but I won't be attending this month's World Championships due to the request by the doctor to stop, not to go attend this competition, because I forced myself to train after 6 months not accessing to the mattress.
Qatar is up next for the Digicel brand ambassador, but first he'll be working on a recovery regime.
It's caused from overusing of one leg, so they asked me to have a rest and recover. So it's not. So I'm still happy because my knee is still good.
That is your Friday night sports. I'll be back on Monday. Until then, have a safe weekend. Good evening.
More than 2,000 mill workers at the Fiji Sugar Corporation are getting a 5.3% pay increase. In addition, workers will get equal access to health insurance and a special welfare fund. FSC will pay for 50% of the premium, says FSC Chairman Abdul Khan. Workers began to get paid overtime for extra hours from Monday last week. The pay raise and levelling of benefits comes as a result of improved performance, lowering costs and increasing output. The pay raise will be retrospective to June 1st and applies to all workers except company executives. Weather time now, and it wasn't the brightest of days today, was it, Jen?
That would have to be an understatement, Amrita. Cloudiness and rain were experienced throughout the country throughout the day, so be it village, city or town, everyone got a taste of Suva weather today. Looking at temperatures, the west are really feeling the cold right now. Lautoka's 27 today, dropping by a degree from yesterday, while Nandi and Suva have the lowest at 26 degrees. Savu has the lead on 28. My hopes for a lovely sunny weekend have been dashed. It's definitely going to rain tomorrow, and there's a big likelihood of Sunday showers. For mariners, there'll be poor visibility in areas of heavy rain. And it seems we're going back west tonight. Thank you, Jitendra Prasad, for letting us visit your home in Vatutavui village. That's weather for the week. I'll see you again on Monday. Till the next photo, stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks, Jenny. I'll be sure to bring my umbrella to work tomorrow. The headlines again. 2 bodies and a car belonging to missing businessman Krishna Swami Naidu retrieved from a creek in Navua. Fiji Airways appoints Stefan Pisler as its new Chief Executive Officer. And revelations that inferior quality ply is being sold in the local market. To this week's poll question. Is Fiji emerging as a Melanesian spearhead group leader? Visit www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. Until tomorrow, good evening.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5
हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली वेणु। सुनते रहिए मिर्ची एफएम। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।